gonna retry this. My dad just called me. I don't know if this fucking little mic even works anymore. I bought it a while ago. The topic and the reason I'm in my truck is because it's just really fucking awkward being at home. And god damn, that bitch is hot. Just really fucking awkward being at home and trying to talk to a mic. I'm surprised I do it as much as I do with my family being the way that they are, because they would kind of come in there and be like, that's fucking weird, which it is fucking weird, but I've just done it for a while, and maybe one day it'll make me some money. This whole little episode, while I find some place to drive around, I think I'm just gonna grab an energy drink. This is by the way, this is another really good, before I get the video started, this is a good tip for people that are dieting. Like when you're hungry or anything like that, or you're feeling some kind of craving, and you're just like sitting at the house, dude, that's what causes it, man. Like if you're not doing anything, then you're gonna be fucking hungry. So like, just get in the fucking truck or go for a run or whatever the fuck you like to do. Just do that. I wanted to talk about dieting because first I am in the process of getting my personal training certification, which would be awesome because then I can start training people for money, yada yada yada. And so I'm studying for the ACE exam. And the other reason is because I've been on this cut for a while now, and this is the best one that I've ever had. As I'm looking at my fucking arm, man, god damn, man, leaner than fuck. But yeah. I wanted to talk about the diet because I did it right this time, and I've pretty much done it right every time. I'd always get iffy with my calories, and I never really adjust them. Or to be completely honest, I'm not consistent with it. It was like I would go on mini cuts, and then I'd be like, fuck it, because I'd fuck up the diet like 10, 15 times, like in a short period of time. And I'd be like, fuck it. Or I'd get into a relationship and I was like halfway through a diet and it's like I wanted to keep on dieting, but me and her girls want to go out a lot. You're going to figure that out, especially if you're young. I wanted to talk about dieting, and another reason is because I keep seeing all these videos of fitness people where they just like sit down and talk, and my day of eating videos aren't really getting a ton of views, which kind of, it doesn't piss me off because I know YouTube's a big fucking place, but like a couple hundred at least, man. It takes like an hour to edit those little fucking videos. Like there's like at least 40, 50 cuts in each of them, at least. So I wanted to, god, she's fucking hot too. I'm never gonna get through this video. Damn, that bitch fucking, oh, never mind, she looks like a crackhead. Ooh, yikes, never mind. I wanted to talk about like dieting and what dieting is and how you can diet, and if you've already heard this information from any other fitness YouTuber, because there's like a billion of them now. When I first started getting into it, there was really like only 2 or 3, maybe like 4. It was like Chris Jones and the Hodge twins and Matt Ogus and then the other ones started coming along, like what's his face, the dude that's always drinking alcohol, Max Tuning and Christian Guzman. That's what I think his fucking name is. I'm not sure. The thing that you want to like understand about dieting is that like it's all calories in, calories out. Okay, like that's pretty much all diet. You're never going to be able to get around that. So I just want like all the bullshit information out there to just like be gone, because they're coming out with all these fucking diets for people, and I really think it's an older crowd, because there's no way that younger people have not had access to YouTube to find this information. Definitely says you need to cut out all the bullshit information. The keto diet doesn't work, the Atkins diet doesn't work, the fucking Weight Watchers and what the fuck ever, they don't work. They do, but they don't. They're all based on the same system. If you're not taking in, if you're not in a caloric deficit, which means you're not eating less than your maintenance range, then you're not going to be able to lose any weight. And if you don't lose any weight, you're not losing any fat. And if you're not losing any fat, you can't see your fucking abs. So like, that's the whole big fucking myth about it. It's really simple, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, how do I find my basal metabolic rate? You can literally download an app. I've got one on my phone. It's a BMR, which stands for basal metabolic rate calculator, And, you know, it'll give you a general estimate. Is it your exact BMR? Fuck no, but, I mean, it's pretty goddamn close. And basically what it just takes in is it's supposed to be like your resting rate. So if you were sedentary for an entire day, and all you did was get up to take a shit and take a piss and then go lay back down, which I've done that before, because fuck, I mean, God, I like being lazy too. Not so much now, but I used to, so, then you would still be losing weight if you ate below those calories. It's not recommended to eat below those calories because you need those calories to work your bodily functions, which whenever bodybuilders and go into like extreme levels of body fat, typically they're probably eating below their BMR. But I don't know that for sure, so I wouldn't like quote me on that. But to diet anyway, like I'm eating like 1,700 calories a day. I'm at the end of my diet. I've literally got 1 pound or like 1 scale pound to lose, so my brain will just be like, okay, we're done, you know, before I start slowly gaining weight again. Oh, jeez. I want to make it very apparent that there is like no other way to lose weight. Like ketogenesis is like, you know, you don't have any, or it's low carbohydrate, so it taps into your fat storage, which works. But you still have to be at a caloric deficit, or it's not going to work, you know. But you can't be fucking, you know, if your maintenance calories 2,500 a day, and you're eating 3,000, but you're only taking in 30 grams of carbs, you're still going to be gaining weight. You're still going to be putting on a little bit of fat. That's just the way that it fucking is. Like, I'm sorry. There's a common misconception that was going around the internet. I don't know if it's still going around the internet, but it was. You could obtain abs without ever working your abs out, you know, because it's just a body fat thing, which I'm sure maybe I never reached that low level of body fat. But I'm going to tell you this. When I was 16, I think I was 16, because that was right before I met what's-her-face, that young lad. I did a cut, and it was my first cut ever. And it was back when the keto diet was like a big thing. And so I went like totally keto and stayed below my basal metabolic rate for like a couple months. All right, yeah, and it makes me feel better that, you know, fitness YouTubers are coming out and saying that they did it too, because it doesn't, like, I really thought I fucked some shit up by doing that. You know, I thought I stunted my growth or something, you know, because I was starving myself. And it gave me a very unhealthy relationship with food, which is another story for a different day. I'm going to try to stay. But yeah, I did that, and I got to about 120 pounds at like 5'10". That's, you know, I was 5'10" back now. I'm about 6 foot now. So getting to 120 pounds at 5'10", I felt like I definitely should have had abs, and I definitely did not have abs. I did not have abs. There was a little bit of separation in the muscle that you could see, and if I have a picture, I'll throw it up somewhere so you can see it. But I didn't have abs like at all. Now I have abs. But anyway, I didn't have abs when I did that big diet, and I probably should have been off track with weightlifting. Weightlifting is very, very important, but in my opinion, the diet is way more important, because it works both ways. If you're not at a caloric surplus, then you're not going to be able to gain muscle, okay? You just won't be able to do that shit. You have to be at a caloric surplus to put on muscle mass, all right? Just like you have to be at a deficit to lose fat and a little bit of muscle to get shredded, which, like I said, this is the leanest I've ever been, and I have no intentions. I can look at myself and basically tell that, you know, maybe at most I'm like at an 8-9%, you know, body fat wise. The main things that you need to know for dieting, and I'm going to give y'all some tips here. I'm going to try to give 5 tips at least, is like when you get hungry, because you will get hungry if you follow a diet. If you're trying to diet to get shredded or get lean, you are going to be hungry. There is going to be times where you're going to bed hungry and you're fucking like hating life. I mean, it just fucking happens. I'm sorry, but you have to go through that. There's really no way around it, unless you're, you know, extremely rich. And the only reason I say that is because if you have a lot of money, you can buy a lot lower calorie options now. like a ton of them. Splenda aspartame, which has 0 calories, and then there's like, those ice cream pints that are like literally like 320 calories with a bunch of protein in them, ice cream, but those foods are really expensive, like really expensive for what they are. And especially considering there's a lot less in them because they barely have any calories. But if you're rich, you can, if you're a very wealthy person, then you could afford those foods, which is going to make dieting a lot easier. If you're not rich like me, you pretty much, whenever you get 1,700 calories, you're pretty much eating 2 meals a day. Like, maximum. I know if you've watched any of my days of eating videos, I talk about this a lot, like how there's not a lot of content. I'm going to have to put other content in it because I'm literally eating twice, and each one of those meals is like, around like 1,000 calories. I mean, a little less, but I mean, just about 1,000 calories. Okay? So, if you do this consistently, over time, you're going to drop fat, and you're going to lose weight, and it's going to be great. And that all fucking round. Okay, well, tip number 2, I'm just going to go ahead and say, is going to be stay consistent. Make sure that you're consistently hitting, and that's with bulking or cutting. Just make sure that you're consistently hitting a rough estimate of numbers. Like I said, you don't have to take it as seriously as I do. I've just been in the fitness game for a while, and you may not be able to tell because I'm more of a leaner physique because I like that. I mean, my chest is pretty big, but I just like being at a leaner physique. I do want to put a little more muscle on me, but I still like the leaner physique. I don't know why. I just do. I've never thrived to get over 200 pounds. I could very well hit 200 pounds, but I just don't want to. I could probably hit 230 and still look all right, but no, I just don't want to. That's got to be like one of the biggest things. Make sure you're hitting your numbers, and like I said, if you're not serious about it, just track calories, dude. You don't got to be like freaking laser accurate with all the shit, just fucking track calories. But if you do want to do anything, make sure you track your protein too. Make sure you're getting enough protein. And the rule of thumb is a gram of protein or 0.83 or whatever the fuck they want to call it per pound of body weight, which, that's pretty easy to hit. So I'd say definitely track protein. Tip 3 is before you adjust your calorie limit to anything lower, if you're already at low calories, then you don't want to be adjusting it to a lower range that is going to make you miserable. Incorporate some cardio. Like, just get up and do some fucking cardio. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just, find a machine. And this is the reason I recommend a machine. A machine will give you a rough estimate of how many calories that you burn. Some of them have little scales in the seats and shit that actually weigh you. So, while you're working out, so you know how many calories you burn. But just get a rough estimate of how many calories that you burn. And like I said, I'd say use a machine because they will give you that rough estimate, and they are extremely easy to use. Like, I've got a stationary bike my mom bought for me 5 years ago. I popped some fucking batteries in that bitch the other night, and I'm just cycling a fucking away. And great is that dude had a fucking eye patch. What the fuck? That's fucking weird. Tip 4 is weigh yourself consistently, but not too consistently, or you'll fucking psych yourself out. And I know there's a lot of fucking fitness gurus out there that are like, you should weigh yourself every day. I totally disagree with that, because minor fluctuations throughout a day compared to over 4 or 5 days is negligible. There's nothing there there's no data that you're missing, I wouldn't adjust day by day. Like I said, if you're not that serious, I understand why, extreme bodybuilders kind of do it so they can make sure that they're in a deficit, or make sure they carved up correctly, or make sure, whatever. But for normal people that don't fucking compete, have no reason to fucking compete, and don't want to compete, they just want fucking abs and look good, then I'd say weigh yourself about every 3 to 4, maybe even 5 days. And then tip 5, and this is going to be my biggest fucking tip for this entire dieting video, is make sure that when you're dieting that you do not get lazy, or your results will suffer. Okay? Let me say that again. Your results will suffer if you get lazy. If you are just dieting, and like I said, this goes to normal people. A lot of the like I said, a lot of the bodybuilding people on YouTube don't cover this because they're extremely motivated individuals. So, tip 5 is definitely don't get lazy. Don't get fucking lazy. Make sure you stick to your weight training program. This is everything. That is everything. You know, I can't tell you how many times that I've just been like, oh, I'm just gonna diet. You know, and it even happened here recently. You know, I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna diet. I'm just gonna lose some weight. You know, fuck what working out, whatever. You look so much better, feel so much better, and if you do it consistently, it's not that hard. And just go into the gym and do something. I mean, I try to work out every day, but that's me, you know? I mean, that's not everybody. You know, 3 days, 2 days, whatever your schedule, whatever your plan is. You know, I do take rest days too. Sometimes I don't work out at all. But do your routine. Once it becomes a routine in your head, you just have that fucking clockwork going, and it's just spinning all the time. You can't turn it off, so it's just like you just kind of know that you should be in the gym. I go into the gym, and, you know, I bench every 2 days. I'm not doing a lot in squat. I'm just leg extensions, you know, and my workouts are not extremely fucking difficult. I'm not in the gym for fucking an hour or two, or, you know, maybe an hour. I'm probably in there for an hour. And I've got a home gym, so I don't even have to go anywhere. Over my lifetime, I've put together so many pieces of weight lifting equipment, and I'm about to buy some more. But make sure you stick to it, even when you're dieting. It's really easy to get obsessed with the diet and then completely forget about the weightlifting, you know, because you're just like, well, shit, I'm losing weight no matter what.